Danny Acosta for Fight Magazine here with Strikeforce Lightweight, Josh Thompson. Josh, you got this big fight coming up with Gesias Cavalcante. What was your initial reaction when you were posted the fight?
Oh, shit. To be honest, yeah, I was like, oh, man, it's going to be a tough fight, man. I got my hands full. I mean, he's heavy-handed. He's a little shorter. Going to be harder to take down. He's a well-rounded fighter, not to mention he's fought all the best guys in the world. So, I mean, like, he lost to Hansen, but I watched that fight. I don't think he lost that fight. And, that was so long ago. You can't really judge anything based off that. I mean, after almost a 2-year layoff, he comes back and fights Kakuno, who's one of the top guys right now. And, I mean, he was able to ink out a victory in that. And, I mean, you can't take anything away from the guy. He's a great competitor, and, I mean, not to mention he's a little savage. So it's going to be a great fight.
Do you feel it's another tough spot for you? You know, you're getting another guy who's one of the best in the world, but not exactly the most marketable or name-recognizable guy in the United States.
I disagree. I think he is. I think he's really marketable. The thing is, he hasn't fought here in the States, so we'll see what happens when the time comes for him to fight here. If he capitalizes on his opportunity, my objective is to stop him. And I'm looking at one fight at a time. We got to get past this one, and once I get past this one, then we'll go with something else. But right now, I'm focused on him and just getting focused on the win.
You had a strong rebound in your last fight, very dramatic contest. How do you feel your momentum is coming into this fight after that victory?
I wasn't happy with that victory at all. This training for this camp went a little bit better as far as like the intensity. I had too many people in my ear last fight just telling me, you should take more time off. You're overtraining. You're getting hurt. This and that. So I went back to just after that performance. I was like, you know what? Screw all you guys. I'm going back to my own performances and just training my ass off. And and if I get hurt, you get hurt. But I'm gonna train my ass off and make sure that I'm ready and feel more comfortable going into the fight. I can't say I wasn't nervous for that fight, the last one, but I was skeptical on like whether I had the tank to do the 3 rounds, whether I could go hard, and it's just dealing with the weight and the size of Pat Healy, and I wasn't prepared for that, and that's just something that that threw me off, and I want to make sure I'm never put in that situation again.
After over 10 years in the sport, you finally got your Guerrilla Jiu-Jitsu black belt. What does that mean to you?
Now it's a little bit of pressure on me to make sure I go out there and perform. I mean, I showcased my grappling in the last fight because I couldn't get off the bottom. It was just a lot of weight put on me and stuff, so I had no choice but to use my jiu-jitsu. I like to usually, fight the fight in all areas, stand up on the ground, wrestling, things like that. But so it's been a new experience. I'm finally happy. There was a long layoff in between there where from my purple to my brown because I was with the UFC and I left them and they really didn't have the weight class anymore, so there was really no reason for me to fight MMA. I started fighting kickboxing matches. That's how I developed the relationship with Strikeforce and Scott Coker. So he saw, I guess, that was marketable, and then we went from there. So then I wasn't really training, so it took me a long time to go from my purple belt to my brown belt, and so it's been a long time coming. So I'm happy now.
What do you want this fight to do for Josh Thompson in his career?
Hey, every fight, it slowly puts you back on the top. And, I'm just looking at this fight, getting through it, and making sure that I'm not looking whether I have a great performance or not. I just need to get the win. He's, like I was talking with Javier today, is that I could be the best Josh Thompson in the world and still lose this fight, and it could be, and the same thing with him. I mean, he could be the best Jay-Z we've ever seen, but there's a chance he's still going to lose this fight. So I need to make sure that I'm the best and that I can possibly be. And if I go out there and give it all I got, and that's the best I can give, then, if you come away with the win, it's going to be great. If you come away with the loss, then shit happens. But you know what, though? That's what happens when you fight the best guys. You never want to kick back at the end of your career and be like, I wish I would have, could have, should have. I wish I would have fought this guy or fought that guy or I ducked that guy. Deep down in your heart, like, who you ducked and who you didn't. And I want to make sure that I'm one of those guys that, if the fight was offered to me, that I took it. If I'm able to fight, I'm able to fight. And this was one of those fights where there was no way I could say no.
And how will the punk come out victorious on October 9th?
Like I said it before 100 times, I don't give a shit if he slips and falls and hits his head on the canvas and cuts himself. I don't care. If he cuts his face on the cage, and I get a W, I don't care. It's anyway. I mean, right now, when you're talking about two guys like us, we'll take it any way we can get it. It could be a fluke overhand right that lands. It could be he jumped into a submission and I caught him in something. That's something that you always. It doesn't matter as long as you get the win. That's the most important part for us.
Josh Thompson.